What's up, everyone? So this is going to be our first geometry lesson. It is over angle relationships. Or pairs, angle pairs. Same thing. So first, some vocabulary words to get out of the way. The first one is called a transversal. A transversal is a line that crosses parallel lines to create pairs of congruent and supplementary angles. Parallel lines are lines that never touch, right? Having the same measurement, that means congruent. If two angles are the same measure, they're both 70 degrees, for example, then they are congruent. And then angles that add up to 180 degrees, it's called supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. So pretty much this is what's going to happen. Most of your assignments are going to look like this. Of course, this is all ugly here. Two lines, and then a line that goes this way. These lines right here are the parallel lines, and this line is the transversal. Now, when this happens, there are 8 angles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 angles, and they all have a bunch of different properties, and you need to learn them. There's different definitions for all of them, and they have different properties, and that's what we're going to be going over in this section of the notes. This picture here is really helpful because we're going to be going over words like exterior and interior, and you need to understand what it means. The angles here, that's an angle right here. Another angle right here. These are exterior angles. Why? Because they are outside of the parallel lines. They're not squished in between, is how I like to say it. They're on the outside. So these are on the outside. And then the interior angles are the ones on the inside of the two lines. These are interior angles. Another teacher, he likes to explain it as like a hamburger. These are the hamburger buns. Why they're green, I don't know. Sorry, wrong color. So the exterior is like the outside of your hamburger buns. Of your hamburger, for that matter. And then inside here is like the meat of your hamburger. These are the interior angles. Alright? However you can memorize it, you need to know about exterior and interior angles. Alright. So first, we're going to go into, these angles are called corresponding. Corresponding angles are angles that lie on the same side, of the transversal and on the same side of the parallel lines. These angles are in the same corner and are congruent. Very important to know that they are congruent. Very, 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 very important. The corresponding angles are congruent. So, let's go over an example here. If you think of, don't worry about the bottom right now. Look at these 4 angles on top. This angle right here is the top left corner. This is the top left corner on top. On the bottom, which one is the top left corner? This one. Since that's the top left corner on top, that's the top left corner on top, on the bottom, I'm sorry. Those are corresponding angles. This is the top right corner, the yellow here. This is the top right corner and the bottom. Those are corresponding angles. They are congruent. This is the bottom left corner. That's the bottom left corner. The bottom right corner. Those are congruent angles. They are corresponding. And just to make it easy, I'm going to put numbers here so you understand. Right? So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. Now, that's my angle 1 symbol. Congruent, that is the symbol for congruent to angle 5. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. And angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. That's the first type of angle pairs. The next one are alternate interior. Alternate interior. Alternate interior angles are angles that are on opposite sides. In other words, one's on the left, one's on the right of the transversal. And since they are interior, they are on the inside of the two parallel lines. These angles are congruent. So again, alternate interior are congruent. Remember, this is the exterior, so we don't care about the exterior in this particular example. These are the interior. So, right here, that angle right here, the alternate interior is going to be on the opposite side, on the bottom corner, right there. Those are alternate interior angles. Same thing here. That one and this angle here. They are on different sides of the line, of this line transversal. One's on the left, one's on the right, one's on the top, one's on the bottom. Right? So you want to put numbers here that you can understand. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4 here. And angle 2 is congruent to angle 3 in this particular question. So those are alternate interior angles. The next one is going to be alternate exterior angles. And these are exactly the same as the previous one, alternate interior, except these are on the outside. Angles on the opposite sides of the transversal, and they are outside. Outside because they're exterior of the parallel lines. These angles are congruent. So alternate exterior are congruent. Are they all congruent? No. For now, these are. Right. So here we are on the outside. We're on the top, on the bun section if you're thinking about the hamburger. This is the top left corner here. So alternate means you can't be on the left side anymore, you have to be on the right and all the way to the bottom. Those are alternate exterior angles. One's on the left, one's on the right. One's way on top, the other one's way on the bottom. This one is the top right corner. This one is at the bottom left corner, the alternate exterior. So we'll number them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That way you know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. And angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. The next ones are going to be same side interior. Now these are pretty much self-explanatory. Same side interior, they are on the same side, so they're both either going to be on the left or they're both either going to be on the right, and they're on the inside, so they have to be in here on the inside. Here's the inside left, here's the inside left on the bottom. There you go, those are same side interior angles. On the right, also on the right, same side interior angles. Oh, before I forget, same side interior angles are supplementary. They're what? Supplementary. It means they equal 180. That's angle 1, that's angle 2, that's angle 3, and that's angle 4. Then that means that angle 1 plus angle 2, angle 3, they're both blue, hello. Angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. That means one of them can be 60, the other one's 120 or whatever. Same thing on the other side, angle 2 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. Oh, hold on. Hold up. On this side, same side interior, they are also called consecutive interior angles. That's just another name for them. Depends on the worksheet I get or whatever I have on the test. They're the same thing. On this one, these are the same thing as the other ones except they're on the exterior. Same side exterior. So these angles are on the same side except they're on the outside. Same side exterior is supplementary, is equal 180. So on the outside again, we're done with the inside for now. On the outside, this is on the left side on the outside. This is also on the left side on the outside. The purple is on the right side. That's an example of same side exterior. So angle 1 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. Angle 2 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. Alright, here we go, part 2 of the angle pairs. Right. So these angles are called vertical angles. That's pretty ugly. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are angles that are across from each other and are formed by intersecting lines. They're across. I don't know how else to explain how easy that is. They're just across from each other. Right? This is what I mean by being across from one another. This angle right here and this angle right here. They are across each other. Those angles are vertical angles and they are congruent. Vertical angles are congruent. And this is going to be huge. You can do a lot of the work just by knowing vertical angles. I mean, just by using like a little shortcut method, just by vertical angles. It's really helpful to know this. It also means that this angle here, the orange, those are vertical angles. Down here on the bottom as well, the red, those are vertical. And then the green. Alright, I'm not going to number them because there's too many of them. Just go by the colors. That's how you know they're vertical angles. And then this last one's called a linear pair. A linear pair. A linear pair are two angles that are side by side and they are supplementary. So these are side by side. The vertical angles were across, these are side by side. And there's a boatload of them, so I'm not going to go over them. I'm going to go over a few of them. So this angle right here is side by side with this angle here. These angles are a linear pair. They equal 180 degrees when you add them together. Or the angle right there and the bottom angle. These angles are a linear pair. They equal 180 degrees. If you don't like either one of those, you can say this angle here and this angle here. They're side by side. They equal a 180 degrees. Or you could say this angle here and this angle here are a linear pair. They equal 180. As long as they make a line, they equal 180 degrees.
Alright, so let's continue on with these angle pairs. So then, let's say that we have our two, parallel lines, and we have, our typical transversal going across or whatever. You know what I mean? So these are parallel lines. This is the transversal. So, like, let's say if I told you this was 40 degrees, could you figure out the rest of the angles? You should be able to figure out the rest of the angles, and you should be able to do them in a variety of different ways. For example, this is 40. How much is all of this? All of this makes a line, so it should make 180. So how much is this missing angle here? Well, it's 180 minus 40, which is 140. So this is 140. And then from here, can you figure out the rest? Easily. These angles here are vertical angles. So then if this is 40, this should be 40. If this is 140, this should be 140. And then over here, you can use alternate interior angles. You can use same side interior angles if you want to. I'm going to use corresponding. Right? This is the top left corner. This is the top left corner, which means they're both the exact same number. So this is 140. This is 140 because they're vertical angles. Same thing here. This is the top right corner. This is the top right hand corner. So then this is 40 as well. Vertical angles. Right? Now, it gets a little more complicated when we add in more lines. So we had this. There are now twice as many angles. So usually we only have to worry about just one line. Now we have two transversals. So again, these are the parallel lines. And these are the transversal lines. Right? So we have two parallel lines, and now we have two transversal lines, which is no problem. It means the same exact thing. And the same rules apply as long as you follow the line that you're going to be working with. So for example, if I said this is 100, and I said that this was, I don't know what, 50? Could you fill out the rest of all the other angles? Well, first you have to ask yourself this. Am I going to be following the line in this direction? Or am I going to be following the line going up and down? That's what we have to figure out. And there's a real simple way to figure it out. It's like this. This is 100. And this is the top left corner, right? And this is also the top left corner. So if we put 100 here, these should equal how much? 180. Do they equal 180? No. And since they do not equal 180, that means that you are not going to be following this 100. Has nothing to do with this line over here. Okay? So this 100 only belongs to this line. Okay? So this is 100. This is 100. Same thing over here on this one. The 50 cannot come over here to this line. Why? Because it don't equal 180. Which means that the 50 only belongs to this line. So this is 50. And now can you figure out the rest? Yeah. This should be 180. So if we have 50, subtract from 180, this gives you 130. Which means that this is 130. And then you don't go to the other line on the left. You keep following the line down. This is 130. This is 130. This is 130 because they're vertical. This would be 50 and this would be 50. Over here, a different scenario. This is 100. The whole thing should be 180. So this should be 80, which means that this is 80 because they're vertical angles. And the same thing can be done down here. Okay? And then you can keep on going further and further. You can have 3 parallel lines, and you can have 3 lines going this way. And it's the same thing. If I put 110 here, and I put, I don't know, 60 there, and I were to put maybe 40 here, and you'll just keep on working it out. And you try to see, this is 110. If I put 110 here, do I get 180? No. So then that means 110 only belongs to this line. Same thing here, this is 60. If I put the 60, you can't put the 60 over here because it's already a 40, so, you know what I mean? So this number just belongs to each individual lines, and then you'll just fill out what you need to fill out. This is something you're going to have to help you do when you start doing your, what do you call it? Your project. So when you have something like this, you would figure out like, oh, this is 110, this is 110, which means this has to be 70, this is 70. And it works all the way down here because this is also going to be 110, and that's 70, and that's 70. And then it also works down here as well. Oh, wait, that's wrong. That's 70. Right? So it just keeps working all the way through. So like, this is alternate exterior angles to this one. They're alternate exterior angles because, you know, we're not using this line. We're only using these 2 lines. And then vice versa. You can say that this 110... Oh, hold on, let me erase that real quick. There we go. This 110 and this 110 are alternate exterior angles if you're only using these 2 lines. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, it's just more lines and a little more tricky. And the last thing I want to go over real quick is if we had something that looks like, not like this. And let's say, for example, I give you a number that's here. Like, let's say this is, let me see. Let's say that this is 60 and this is 40. And I want you to figure out every other angle. So I want you to figure out an angle that's going to go, well, everywhere for that matter. Like, we're going to have one, I'll just label them. We're going to have one here. No, not there. Oh yeah, here, 14. So we're going to figure out all the other angles, okay? Just by these two numbers. I just don't want to put the little numbers because they bother me. I mean, I know where everything's going to go. If you need to leave them there, then you leave them there, okay? Oh, I had two more actually in here. I had to figure out this too also. But we'll get to there, hold on. Zero, I erase the line. Alright. Alright, so what we're going to do here is the same thing we did before. You're going to try to figure out, like, well, this one's easier because it's an X. Like, this 60 over here is not going to touch, this 60 belongs to this line. Okay? And then vice versa. This 40 belongs to this line here. Alright? So they're never going to go on opposite lines. So this is 60. This is 60 because, vertical angles. The whole thing here should be what? 180. So 180 minus 60 gives us 120. These are vertical angles, so this is 120. Then you follow the green line down. Okay? Ignore the, what do you call it? This other blue line. Just ignore it. So if this is 60, and this is the top left corner. This is the top left corner here, so this is 60. Which means that this is 60 because they're vertical angles. And this means 120 here, and this is 120 here. Okay? It's just like we did before. It's just like we did over here. Except I have another line going this way. Exact same thing. See, the 140 is still the 140 here. Same thing. Okay? Now here for the next line. This is 40. This is 40. Vertical angles, right? The whole thing is 180. If you already have 40, then you should have 140 left over. This is 140 because they're vertical angles. And then follow the line down. Remember, ignore where they cross in the middle. Okay, so the 140 goes in the top left corner. So this is 140. This is 140. This will be 40, and this will be our other 40. Now we need to figure out the other angles. Well, what shape is, let me see if I can color a different color. This right here. The yellow part, what shape is this? It's a triangle. How many degrees in a triangle? 180. You already have 40 and 60. So 40 plus 60 gives us 100. Subtract from 180. That gives you 80 left over. So this angle right here is 80. And if this is 80, this angle here, these are vertical angles, so this is also 80. And then that's it. That figures out all the angles there that I missed. Alright. Oh, and I forgot at the very, very end. Hello. Forgot two more angles. The ones right here. These big old angles right here. But they're easy to find. Because how much is all of this again? All of this should be how much? 180, right? So if I already have 80, subtracted from 180, this is 100 degrees. And then these are vertical angles here, so this is 100 degrees. So now I did them all. There we go.